Ebusia eye Ola Michael a panel ewo United Showbiz so abedwane maame akosa se watim abedope security bi afa eye Odo Bronii ene ne eyewitness na ebusia Asɛm bɛn ana wabeka ebusia esiweni ensese yeka ekra ebusia jebre yenkuti eye Ola Michael emra obedwane eye maame akosa se watim a wabedope secret afa Odo Bronii ene eyewitness no yenko yenkuti bi yemfa emra.
They were still staying in Tantra.
So it was unknown mass Akusia Bimpomano. Dates were contradicting with what witness now judge in the morning. I assume we also and chocolate. It was contradicting with that witness a date. And so she chose to believe that witness need date over the Mami and Estina at the man. So that is the basic understanding.
But we already know, say 2010 ban sana 2011 aba. Why would you even kwase obi DSS waka 2013? No be abeka 2010. I won't in this set 2013 no. Ampeni ampa nimpa ne be ware in 2010. Nti ye den ya 2011 ni 2012 no. Nimpa ne bae. You see,
and I make us say, would you kind of say, Bearmana will be the adansi, no, Emma a preslano, or Jibemana semu diche or more be the adansi in a patria friend to your trim. It's anything that contradicted the Bearman Kaino. The first person of Benjamin D. Bearmano over whoever's own is contradicting with Bearman Indiana. I said, it's a question now be sending in a legitimate, but she only made you know, say, or share the Bema no be the dance no, any the Ernestina Becca and Bema no the any so pepe Ernestina the dane. I was trying to look for that paragraph or can say in one instance, Ernestina Ebma certain year. But Georgina and Susu Bema different year. I mean the one I will be the dance ma Mia Kusiano. And so ma different year for the same instance. But Bema no be the dance ma Odo Bronii no or no moment it me ma the correct year. It that is why she decided say on to me in this dance the for no the any but or J Bema ni the any because her new sisi sumano. But don't worry, I'll find that relevant portion as we keep on going. Then I'll read it out for you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ola Michael. And Ted.
Yeah.
But I'll to maybe a question why.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
What I want to ask Ola is I wanted to find out if you have the gazetted judgment or the soft copy, because according to Lawyer Kusi, or say the soft copy, almost say about 46 pages, but almost call 49. But the gazetted one, no more is the 72. No more compare. They feel say soft copy, there are certain things that have been eliminated from it.
As we speak now, we all have the soft copy now. My mini releasing my
Okay.
and
Lawyer
we are still my lawyer friends, we are all trying to find that full document now, or kind of extrapolate when you free 49 people. We are
because lawyer, based on an interview I heard from Lawyer Kusi today, he said your more the one with the 74 pages.
Yes.
It's no more basic. Yeah, enough evidence until say then the Becca Santa and now until say or more beba no when who the evidence I know kita no when who how contradicting the judgment is no. He feels that it's unfair and because he didn't have enough evidence, which I feel like he's right anyway.
Yeah, but if you Becca say he didn't have enough evidence, I'm sure he'd be able to pay it. But you can say ABR the procedure for tendering the evidence were flawed along the line. And the crime said, somebody called me to give me other side of it. Say, yes, sister, the document free ever say for Germany, and yes, the what could you original marriage certificate and all those things from Germany. We say, Judge Nekai, before ruling it by me kind because it is in the Evidence Act. Say I also want Ghana embassy near war or mine so no. Almost share document in a normal day authentication certificate eka home.
Yeah.
But will be framing now. Maybe tomorrow I'll try and call my guys at the embassy to also check.
But I've also confirmed, say, the Ghana embassy in Berlin, no money right to stamp on.
That is what I was going to say.
Yes, they do not have the right, so you need to bring it to Ghana Foreign Affairs. No, my into Asɛm now, we should just that's the only thing I wanted to say. Thank you.
Say nipa no Asɛm no can to say they want so okay. I'll catch them and say they don't also I hear more embassy, they don't do that. Also I hear more Berlin. Ghana embassy that. I'll say they don't even have the right to do that. So money right to do that then the papa she kind no mum person obekano. So they call Ghana a high commission or other offices were for authentication. Then that is the procedure. Name bia court no say anti procedure na see. Because judge also can senka among the things I know was a documents in come no. Now senka the Ghana embassy in Germany should have put certificate of authentication on it. But if what the person told me today, which I'm following up, is true, then the judge also made a mistake, as most of us misunderstood it. Name say clear.
Mr. Ola Michael, question section no. Jesse Boafo Ebisa said, please, Ola, can we petition the Ghana government and gender minister?
You can't petition, but like I said about the petition now, and then assign me there. No, what is the end game? Why do you want to do that? Dear now, pursue your man. Do you think that the corona will pursue your man? Or she has Mikashi because the minister is a woman now. Do you think that she has the powers to do that? Those are the things we need to verify before we can move on with such petitions. And then so say so because there's another petition now and so has to do with the fact that they want to be sure if say judge more can say and I say boy now we dance more Odo Bronii okay say judge Nishiano outside or man a chocolate castle na dance no edimu pa ne ade no if it is not a bad precedence and I say yes it is not on court
Yeah, I hope the person's question has been answered. Nanekia,
Yes, dear.
Mpacho, which maybe a question. Why what three?
Okay, Mr. Michael, good evening.
good evening
Namisha ne wajuma pa woye. Mensumu wa Germany ha na mmom mbesa meka kakra ne se. Ye ma me we na ode buy certificate no mo say wrong no me de mean to me kan wa ha because me ready ye but the ambassador men can say aha no sa wokɔ office na sa wokɔ akɔgye saa de na say Mr. Ola ene wo hɔ a ɔnna besan sa wo de kɔ ana ɛkyɛ na wamfa nkɔ ne yɛ sa ka sa kɔgye foforɔ ba na wokɔ na Mr. Ola ni hɔ a nipa a ɔwɔ hɔ no na kyerɛkyerɛ yɛ mu kakra me de meti bibia ase aha na me wɔ even kra wo wie na akɔgye father shaft no na ɔma anya nwie a de ɔno wo start yɛ na wasa wokɔ nipa foforɔ bɛsan asan saa na ha ɔmo yɛ no ɛnyɛ sɛ sɛbi Ola na asan kyɛ wɔ sɛ Ola na ɛyɛ dabi ɛna bi Ola bɛba hɔ Tuesday Wednesday wɔ ni hɔ nipa foforɔ bɛkɔ no ɔnna bɛsan saa na ha ɔmo yɛ no nti mesra onim deɛ wɔ anim ti ayɛ a ebia na yɛ nuanom ɔmo aka no ɔmo nim nti na ayɛ hɔ no so na wabɔ hɔ na yɛn nso yate bi sɛ Germany nneɛma no sei na ɛkɔ na menhyira no adwuma pa a wɔyɛ
but I think say last Saturday I hinted on that maybe we'll cry example say Yemfani said nipa no worry 2004 register across sign no ne signature be also. Say na wo se me nkonkoje a copy which will become an original copy. Yeah, holding a problem no. Me call maybe I may worry 2004. Yeah, enter into a database. Registrar sign. And one mammy, why print out a mammy. Was sign print out no. That is an original copy. Now and net 2025. What's the main copy na? Now me say call even if it's the same office, near your print out at the registrar no be sign no. And yet the same person I me call to 2004. So obviously the signatures will never be the same. But you know, say one of the contradictions are say a C or quarter, which say lawyer Kusi Tumi Kika no man boom is one of the basis of it me they are fighting appeal. No?
Thank you. Nana Papa Pepacho, obetimi a omiti wo ho na wakasa.
Nashmi obeto mi wana meboa.
O wase answer na about scientific.
Mate.
Nana Papa.
Yes.
Nana Papa. Pepacho, obetimi omiti
Yes.
wo ho na wakasa.
Me pacho daddy la mi bisa say nti eye ne date na ebusua pani na hye no. Eye ntimi nya ho hwe ho a na beda na.
And no ne kra wo mu nyina say
So mo koye postmortem no. Nti na ma mi bisa
the kra
say.
wo mu say a no they say no na asakoye abusua asem. Abusua so dey say a year enche dan kan ho when it gets to this point. It's no na ba be a bit of complication. Me nim de ba na yenhwe otumfo abai. So we for issue nti ehwe se onya adaje e ma case ya na so obetimi aboa de obeka na e fa na nti yenhwe ne ehwe de otumfo obeka.
Yeah, me that's.
Scientifically Pepacho obetimi akasa.
Mepacho me can send
Me
kaye
pacho
maintaining na papa bi was so nti pacho
When
me
you
send
drop in, you not drop in no.
Me na me drop it no.
me
pacho
pacho
maintaining.
metimi I responded to question back we na me pay date isem no.
Pacho ai.
Okay, nti paragraph 116 no. Said na me chim no. My judge say all the exhibits were admitted in evidence without any objection and they were not contradicted by the plaintiff under cross-examination. When the Odo Bronii, the Okudina Mumano, no, at the court, and a judge in the chair said, I no more the bar court in ano, or Muji Nina Tumi. Na ye lawyer no, and Kase, and Pupuniti Mubia under cross-examination. And also, actually, say, sir, a witness, DW1, gave the date of marriage ceremony, where it was held, mentioned some names of the people who attended, including the then head of the deceased family and representative of the deceased late mother. He said more than a year after the customary marriage, D2 gave birth to the first child in December 2011. This piece of evidence corroborated by the certified copy of the passport bio page of the child. It's, with a contradiction of dates, this is one of the things she used to say, Odo Bronii witness, was consistent. It's, for on the over Obiade, Midas.
Typically, Pacho answer a question. Won't.
That may ask me
Kasaye.
Oh, I thought she was not talking.
No.
me pacha Raula. I mean
Yes, ma'am.
me bisa say we are happy say over share what lawyer friend number. Yes, all share no ho. Me come ba inbox my babeji. Are you happy?
Oh, no problem.
Okay, me babeji.
No problem.
Me question is say maame say wa lumba mano so okoje eyima wo mo a waje passport am mo say de ye kana yes all fill forms no obe yebegusa no make oba na owo nkola no Nkɔla ne
Okay,
ma.
so say your baby say na ira na anya na ire.
What you say?
Okay, so I think it is the reason is part of the reasons why he had to do a DNA. I think say my microphone one made me know say it is not always the case of they want to know the relationship between say we and anya. They just want to know when I will file for Kwadano me wo den omo ye me ma. Full stop. But along the line, in documentation, you can say Nkrano Mame Yemere or not. But in this case, there was nothing mentioned about whether Nkrano Mame Yemere or anything. And Osai Yusu, Osai Yusu, I think a Mame and Estina address our Germany in a day. But what I'm hearing is even winning in ano na Mame Agusia Sewa was willing to support. And even Senkrano now or baby amoba or bemo baby atina, she had no problem with that. It's a normal say na me hua na me ti in some way can fan honey bia and we say pese gunana ana eyashe me krano. Because even with all this, she was still willing to support. And I'm being told that she supported even in the documentation of Nkrano being citizens of Germany.
Thank you. I hope scientifically, I hope so. Question one somehow. Dixie, Anna Dixie.
Actually,
Consti, sorry, Consti Pacho.
Mate. Well, me pacho me da wasi no akunya dia mam. Mr. Ola, thank
Yes,
you for
ma'am.
your support. Nyami sharpa.
You're welcome.
And me pacho we say question nipa no kasa asisi ani bisa ye no. Ene de lumba ne ma ne nkura no. Obetimi di omu ni even Priscilla no because on na ye nkura ne maame no. Ni din betimi abaso bi. But it doesn't mean say she's a wife. And then you obetima provide as when it comes to you can say mother name we say na father na ni din betimi abaso. But I don't know say be say a document keke. And a face so no sa marriage certificate no almost say signature sa masunti no way no. Kroma say kwa wo kwa na say birth cert. Moko hon ma both parents no mo sign. But birth cert no mo signatures nya dey emma so. Enti Mr. Wolam Pachona Mrs. me question is judge no. Sana na why very straight our maame no documentations no hono. Adentina because meaning say Ghana na say court we deal with evidence. Enti adentina Odo Bronii no so obi na betra ho e kan ni yire ni nua ekunu. He's not a family member. Anya Odo Bronii maame, anya ne papa. Anya se bi omo ware no po wona ta ware na chi. There is no videos, nothing. Bibia no one ma kire say evidence ni. Enti se na wo se ye we se na ka wo se wotimi gina ma Odo Bronii so de no so se me so me enti ma anya enough evidence e kire say wo so ya ware. Enti Odo Bronii de no so na ka wo se eno so yi si aside. Se na wo se ya straight to maame ne de. So I think say she wasn't being fair with Mama Sewa. Until me busa said debe intina judge no. Wa yes I Odo Bronii na when evidence bia farmer no. Wotimi G2 mu say no ne ya ware. Me pacho enna na me busa me da say.
Okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to respond to some of the questions via messages, and then at the same time listening to the questions are urban. So when I type here is because I'm responding to some of the questions down there. Pacho, why? Mom, don't let it seem like I'm being distracted. That's what I want to say.
No, that's fine.
Okay, so in court, you can of correct Pacho. The lawyer be able to court in no correct yepe. Ubetimi a chishentro. Ama wontro na sisi so pepe. Ama wo de winning case. Chana the court today. Now, ena me kind, ena me sense so say. Ma me judge say adanse a ofa ebedi ye no. Na danse ni bebre na ya atesem. Yes say obusuani bi na ka kire me ya ba ya ne ka kire me hwan ne ka kire me do ka kire no won owu na do bedi adanse mo Odo Bronii no ono de na adanse no bebre na ye na me wo hobi. That's the difference. Eti weda se no ho no ni ho watimi ahihye ne nsem na ma ato judge na sum. Eti na ma ofa ne nsem no. And even for the judge to say so no kwa so dance die na ye ne da na say sisi su ye no. Na e kire se nipa no sebi omo ne hihye nsem no se no mo pese e ko na ebo a omo. Eti na ma judge ne fa no na sem because in that respect or ma evidence as though say okahubi it what hobi it a first hand information or dey man o share the original ma me akosua na ne nsem ni boy ebisa na o se we dey menkai we dey na mini ho we dey mennim eti no ekoye so no so ni nsem bebre no na onye fully involved. It is when you're fully involved, Sana, then you become more like evidence, witness, you're too credible. Because in some people, judge, say, the witness statement, the true, or by you didn't tell that can be son or contradict with some of the things or Troy. Judge in there, Nemini Obi. It's the Ubi Sano, this is how I can answer it. Say, Dedikai courts and Yano Kuren Kwan ye peno. Ye peno bit me a canning semi. No akam na sisi so obi wa o kan krepa but enam so nim nensem kantino etimi botia no eno obi won so a wo twa antropa wo nim tro ni twa ma obisa no asem krona for 1,000 times obeka the same thing obi won so wo twa antra ade ba ko se ye hye ne so no se wo court ana se bia wo no obi di nkomo even omo ko interviews abrofo no they read your mannerism like the kasa the way we see can no confidence how they can or body posture how you twitch even your eyes when you are responding to certain questions. All these things are things you get to see if the person is lying or not. And we move be brain no busy or court or it's in my major no share normal way in and not see Dodi Odo Bronii witness no or no mumuna nensemo okay man. It's me sure say we actually answer question no.
Okay, Mr. Ola, I have one question for now.
Sure.
Mepacho, what was the case that was taken to court?
So we saying and then you are asking for the 4 pleats,
Yes.
Yeah, and I think offhead, the first one was to say court, and share me the court direct to tree. I hope it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The first one was say court and share say me akusua se wa me nkoa e na me ye Charles Kojofo su yire na de tosu mienu na court no so ensisu gina based on their medeba no say ema obia abusua panyin which is the first defendant and refer to obi bia say ono no ye Charles Kojofo su yire de tosu miensa ema the second defendant which is Odo Bronii and so ne nam nka se wono so ye Charles Kojofo su eyire the toso 9 na yema ono me akusua sewa enam say me na me yire no me nye kuna. These are the 4 main reliefs at the court.
Okay. And the judgment nearby, did it go according to release or medical court? Was there any judgment among the 4?
Yes, so Osha the final judgment now. She summarized everything into what we sent to court. But say the procedure and then some could PPR and then do Gina so they can't answer no. That is where some of us had issues with it. Like I was saying, my issue was I brought in front of you a case that has to deal with civil marriage. If I'm unable to prove my civil marriage, you throw my case out. But you don't go back and tell me, say, me customary marriage, I'm I mean, can't also validate my no. You know, mum now validate your mammy. In Patricia say, it is a okay, me go say me documents and your papa, na man for procedure, moon, tea, and your papa no. Na so Michelle case me, made me and Casso, Unkwane. Asimasi eku ayire because documents akebe met me ahwe so dia no wan fa kwan papa so amame it will case no me gitu menye mabo ato agu yanke ekoye
Exactly. That was what I was also expecting, because manfa customary marriage and backcourt. So I don't understand why there should be judgment for customary marriage. And Bisa say, what was the case before her ladyship? No,
Yeah.
that's it.
Actually, a question.
Done. Giggsy. Okay, only what the any easy kabisa question why?
Okay. So media no, Mr. Ola, it's not a question, it's actually a contribution. I think say obi eka say ebusa about citizenship. Say onkwala no mu book no betimi ayran Lucia na I think so ka say there be. But in reality no, the answer is no mu betimi Lucy. And this is the explanation. So they have 3 types of citizenship. So one, citizenship by blood, that's you solely. Citizenship by land, that's usually that's citizenship by blood and sanguineous. By land, solely, and by naturalization. And say in this case, and when Marka say petition or more, we should be very, very careful, because yanshe na a corner for many baswa, because of Momutia Brochin, no maybe baby or we are winning a day. Enyim pie. Nti assume said this is a scenario mema. Se nkwala no say bia wo mo Germany and say bia Canada na US whatsoever. Na say ebia omo papa no enya ne citizenship no through marriage. Na in this case no marriage no ye believe say enye authentic na e fake. Directly no papa no betimi lose ne citizenship and any child no so akwa that citizenship through ne papa no betimi lose. And it's as simple as that, because I have a friend that ni papa ni mama worry na ni mama worry no after years 10 years later ana omu say our na marriage of convenience nti ni mama no worry na otwe esika ma obi na one ne ye nkrata na onya ne PR after that no onya ne citizenship ne man owo omo Canada ne de omo ho son because ya wo Canada ne wo nkrata ba emma mienu ana owo omo Ghana okofo omo bae no mama ni losing citizenship na nkwala no automatically they also lost their citizenship no. And say case ni kodru baby or say drew na ba say bi omka say okay you people are saying say papa ndi kita ni bia no enye valid and whatsoever. Say ekodru ha the kids of course can also lose their citizenship. That's what I wanted to chip in.
Yeah, you're right. But in answering questions, I limit myself to what we have in front of us, because so I don't know how they do their things, but what we have in front of us, there has not been any dispute on how Lumba became a citizen. And unless somebody goes behind the scenes to go investigate and realize that, a citizen, then it can affect the case. But as we speak, so even doing that will become a bit of a complication. So based on what we have now, it will be difficult for us to even think about or even proceed to want to say a bit debar and crown from being citizens. So I mean that is how I wanted us to understand it.
Thank you.
Elsie Cute.
Hi. But
Yeah.
Lana me person bisa say, me say about lawyer bidin lawyer Dennis. But Dennis Jana.
Jomo.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but you see, there are too many senior lawyers that can do this job. Too many. In fact, too many. I only mentioned those that I know, those that are my friends. Those I know say they deal largely with marriage issues. But the woman senior cracking mom extremely good. Your lawyers be what I say, sir appeal way. Yednya say it is said a lawyer kusikan or the full ruling no 71 pages no. Now yednya lawyers bear 2 ekano. Senior channel. No go through the whole thing. I can tell you, say they can easily know how to fight this appeal and win it. So let's not limit everything to the 2 friends of mine that I mentioned. There are extremely great lawyers out there that we can fish out for them.
Olana unim lawyer Rahman Mujid.
What Daroma? ebiana minim ba ebiana minim sesana ni di nete ebi nso ana minim ba by face but meaning in any kind of relationship.
Okay, that's all.
Thank you, Efia Papa B. I mean, Elsie Cute. Yeah.
Yo, thank you.
You're welcome.
But anyway, I like this forum when you invite people and with with intelligence that we can ask questions. I like this. And Ola, I came back here because I listened to you when you were on UTV, and then also some of the I think certain things that you did at your FM station. So with UTV, you were right there, right? And it looks when I listen to you, it sounds like you have the same sentiment about how I felt about the judgment. You know, because for instance, I was thinking if we were in there to do customary, to talk about ordinance marriage or civil marriage, why are we discussing customary over there? Why do we have an expert on customary marriage come and explain things to us? So at that point, I feel like what was the lawyer's intention for that? You know, and you saw the same way too. Because what was and then people were asking, say, I didn't see ordinance Asɛm na I feel that judge say that was able to happen because one of the loopholes is to bring in a customary person to come and discuss it. So now you're giving a ground to also discuss, to also clarify who can be a wife. If I have shut down your marriage certificate, then now I can talk about customary because you brought one to even come and explain it to us. So that was another loophole. So I'm asking this because you said this. You said you were right there when Abu Sapeni said something that Akosa Sewa and on the Lumba paper. Did you hear him when he said that? Because I asked because sometimes you be right there and then those watching are the ones that hear certain things. Did you hear when he said that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So and then also you also went ahead and you said that which you made a very good submission, right? You said that my main certificate no enya papa the same certificate na Emma Lumba krata na Lumba ediaye krata amane passport and yes enya papa there we have to go and reverse everything, right? It's the question is are we, because other people are saying enya akosese wa na Emma Lumba krata, hence pictures no who say Odo Bronii bi you know, because they want to always shoot down everything that is made in favor of the woman. Even though somebody like me, I listen for facts. Because there was the man that was making interviews and she was saying, Tama Lumba, no Odo Bronii bi no. See those pictures that they're circulating, you know, it confirms what the man said. Because he lived in Germany. And see that extra, but then Tama Oba no Obonina and first can ba amoma produce no. Akosa se wa na den produce but akosa se wa haters they didn't hear that. What I say, and no man and no pictures no for me somebody like me I confirm say ampa na Lumba ne Obronii bi wo ho. What I say, it's me point is almost say and no na ye ebusapani tsan ho kan ye. And nya akosa se wa na.
Okay, the time is right. Okay, so let me hold on. Let me touch where she was.
Okay.
Didi can say more German, you know. I know say you understand this even better than I do. You ever say Queen, we are Germany na menuwa wari our Germany mem na we are Germany known. It is also not automatic. So we are Germany now. I'm no worry no. Me no worry. I na me be Germany ni. I have to go through a process and then some verification before I get to the point where I can also be a German citizen by virtue of the fact that I'm married to you. I know say more Germany in other European countries. You know this one better than I do. Now, Abushapeni saying say Mami Akusia Sewa and Nam Suma Dumbanya and Krata Bay Germany, you know. I saw say he was only saying things he's heard people say. That's what he was doing. He was only saying things he's heard people say. Sometimes you first read the room, get to understand what everybody is seeking. So where I didn't say who responded to the Beka, you can't make your point. So some of the points, you just leave them. Say, what they can, or more munim no, they will know you are lying. Let me address that picture now, more, the Lumba ne or baby signing on. I think so whoever brought those pictures, I think they brought it because of video na make us say nipa enam ne so ma uma and so Tumi abenya German citizenship Sa nipa na ye JJ anymore or something like that I think they brought those pictures just to negate what I said or to make it seem like they make and no na Bronii bi ne ma Lumba enya or Lumba wari Bronii bi ne nam so ma or go through the process to be a citizen. Sa pictures nchiremu a menye film ne say yes in 1980s, so I think 86 87 more that Lumba ene nana for the account one Lumba bread nana champo right
Yeah.
but yeah yes say they no moti ade our friends say edrofie like living like
Asylum.
sick and they seeking asylum right 80 that was the period they were trying to find ways to get proper documentation. It's your Bronina who said Oneno essence, and it was one of the means he was trying to get proper documentation to live in Germany. But even after Oni Bronini, it took only 3 months and it broke down. 3 months and it broke down. And that was even before Oni Mamia Kusia Babewari. So Obi, I know they brought it up because I said, and Mamia Kusia Suntina Lumba, Etsu Timi Benya, Krata, Odo Bronii Maba Benya, a citizenship. No, I know that is what they try to do with those pictures, but I'm shooting it down again by saying, say, you're not yet Tamana or more Etia Drufi, Anna Lumba Pesa or Nya Ninkrata or Deko Wari Bronii. But you know, actually, no, some about home. 3 months, and I shoot it down. It didn't work out. So that's the explanation for that video. If they want to use it for propaganda.
Okay, Ola, I want to also add something here. A brochure only obi okita nkrata kowaria. It doesn't necessarily mean say ubenya nkrata because obi wo honoma or the benefits so. Into say woni nipa ne koware na say won so ba be state responsibility a. They won't give you nkrata to be able to come in there.
True, because that time Lumba no, so they were responsibility of the state at that time.
Exactly.
So Omuti Adrufi no Abana and all that. So Aban sure no, why do you want to as Opeso Bewari Bronii then ebi our friend so the Ababe done more of a burden to Aban? Because Aban sure is temporary. They really want to find ways to let go of you. Say that they are also responsibility so better. See, those are part of the reasons why it never worked out anyway.
That's it. Okay.
Lady B. And I will
Lady B. Mary. Now I was just adding up for them to know. Say, oh, worry Bronii and Tress say, well, now worry be one crata and Tress will be young crata. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it's not automatic. Yeah.
Lady B, me patcho bet me on you too. Hono abisa question why.
Oh, me put the new question me that I see Mr. Ulana me person me back and say, I mean, Shano. Ewo your friend is any supportive for the mama miss her wa bring I'm Shano. When you enya de kese pa na ombo no ho ban oni na busu nyina de meka kire na nyame nhira no.
Amen. On shira also.
ma. Thank you.
Himself.
Yeah. Debbie himself or too hard yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Me tell me now, so let us and so.
Yeah, just so.
Obi can send me for Tama was so mokoye ne Nkolando passport no. The minimum say normally I no more fellow forms na yebusa baby say maame no ana papa ne busa status say waware wojai aware we widow ne sa no. Em say ke hon enye easy so mbehu de betinka e hon so me yehu say one na aware na so so one makosu eja ya so one na aware nke ho no praise la dabra ho no obe state say waware ana so ye single. So
but obviously I know he will stay so worried and then area Mamia Kusa sewa.
Mene ono Odo Bronii mother side no.
Oh, okay.
No so.
Ono
so ba feeling the part. Say wa worry and I say we divorce and I say bibisa. Nti nke hondo me so ono so wa worry na mpa. Obeteke say wa worry we single. Ke eno so me hu say no ade na mpa wa worry no. Musu me de kakra me wono no.
But Intina Okaya, in one of the commentaries that I was making, I was saying there was no way Lumba would have stated anywhere during the documentation say Odo Bronii and here. He would have been scared to even say that because enkratemuno oira yenimno eya akosia sewa fusu. Okaya, I made this emphatically. Say there was no way. It's almost a warena. And then when ya kukudru, no one state everywhere in the documentation said Odo Bronii and here. He couldn't have done that.
Okay.
Himself.
Himself, na
Yeah. So question I mean yeah.
Okay. See, Mami Cheo.
Himself, what do you mean 5 minutes?
I don't have much because since before seeing me the judgments na person bisa senior say lawyer confirm say and say can say we are deliberating on pages no. But lawyer granting interview I can say 74 pages like the judge said. Also I think not opposite or say the notion out there now Omoka say when Tumi antenda all in Yamana then or say Omonchain or Moon the real fact answer because he did all those things. You know, Sansu Koti by law crass say if Sabia Baku menu before the short cranker Act 26 no section 3 no the judge could have easily applied into me as it stands now there. I feel like he ain't Chinese share the outcome. But I mean, we work about saying here, maybe a good lawyers can one. And I make person can say, you beat me a young can appeal na yen once and for all. Than maybe I ever quite no so way. But along the line, person be a senior. We way no can say with me a verification be share say document now, which is letter no issue in if embassy in education at the end. The person be say. Germany bet me at 14 who say Obi Jai no more issues I am na because the notion out there say my mini Jai to me and fat documents for Pambana there no like send our castle unya konya inquiries bu embassy in person we say almost system to say Ghana able to me create documents na there like that na.
So the question I say is open so Obi bet me I create fake documents.
The notion out there is say my mini be I had the bonny being to me. And for them for documentation and some person business say it's a na bibi betimi esisa sa worry anyone
wada ma me ma on kasa mre Efie.
Okay.
Why? Because omo the documents ni be see Ghana German embassy or Ghana omo share verify before they give the almost certification and endorsement of the fact that the two are still married. That's what I say.
Okay.
So a faker and can embassy no Ghana na Susan sign a signature to some like a more endorse it emano. Why?
So don't mind me that say. Into me I don't know me Kennedy you tutu mu dadanti and one wait me so aba.
Okay. Ola, me person me see from na nkrofo dos was here ho. But before me see from no nyame nshira obebre. Watch rest say yetiti wo domu uti odo ase. E na wo odo. Yeda wase bebre say watchre Tim legal wife ni ye maame akohia sewa odo. Se wonware ya nyame ma wo ba papa na ware no. Se wa ware so a nyame embo wa ware ye ho ban. Me da say. Enti Queenema, Shinizi messy form but I'll be working from down there. Why?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Me da say.
Nana Joa. Okay. Nana Joa Sewa.
Yes, mommy.
Pacho Edu so why?
Me pacho yo mate. Brola.
Yes, ma'am.
Anthony Shira kakraka engu ni wabusia so. Yada se pa se wajina wa manokre. Na minim sene wuye no. Wakechi ya nyankopon de bema ho. Omo say abrochi for my I frustrated nti na ye sorry aye gina TikTok so aye kwa mama asewa. Bantesa yenim how ene yawe wo mu say ye raising kolawo aha. Nti na ye nyina ye kwa mana no. Me pacho me question ba ko say manya akwanya go through aye friend send the verdict no.
The summarize one.
Ade me pacho ai. Na de ba ko a etwe ma dwene say ose ma dizeti ni kunu. Nkasa de we ye
Sir,
menim say
everyone,
o marital home. In premises, yeah, but now it
okay,
was
because
set
I
or
think it was one of the
ruling,
things
no.
that some of the people said. I mean, some of the witnesses said, but I don't think I remember her also confirming said that
Also,
is
can say or say or Ghana 2014. Now the records now or can no it does a intro now. It doesn't show say about 2014,
okay.
right?
Okay.
And it say yeah the appeal ni kwa would that thing come up and I say ember up.
And the wadaroma yentwen. So no be konto ana se uko who cheche no punches I will be izu etiana. Nene untoko and all usu dada. Yenja no man lawyer for no more answer. Why, Mr.
Okay, all
But
right.
that's
And yeah, me pacho me question ano no me da sinyamisha.
Yes, yeah,
I'm
that's
sure.
Kanaja.
Emma, can I quickly chip in? Just a
No, please.
short.
We actually have to wait. I'm sorry. Please.
Uh,
JB. Last. Okay.
Can I
JB.
come in?
Yeah. Heart. 3 hearts. You can come in.
Okay. Brapeni nyamisha bebre se wajina no krafa. Emi say
Amen.
asem say sina say uyi wenim say ubejina no krafa. We all know say we are fighting against a tough system. And for you to show your face, say obeka no kreno, it's not an easy decision. But nyamisha will say we take it a tough decision. No. I just wanted to say, emi so obi beka say adena lawyer dey obi free ahemfie ba ye say o metre amamra warrior if we are into contest something that has to do with ordinance marriage. I think say I will side with lawyer from that angle. Ebi anana adwen ni say e wo mu say yaba say ye beka say mame akosia say wa ye that the lumba yere nko a wo mra kwan so. Na mpo no se nkrofo ni fi se ya ware Odo Bronii wa amamre na eno no mu begina so so ye yera e na amamre kra na ware no ye gine sen ana se amamre mu kra ware no ye gu ni sen enti no lawyer ne I think say the line of argument no was to prove say e wo mu se maame ni ye oyere ba akopɛ e wo emra kwan so na mpo mu kasa ya ware obi wa amamre kwan so no amamre kwan ne so kra mo de gya ware no kra no it was faulted because enye busua kan na kwagya ware no ena se mu claiming po se maame ne kra de abegya ya ware kra na e kwan na mu claiming se maame ne begya ware no so no eno crampo is faulted intermediate ho na me fee se eno ntina ema lawyer ne di obi free ahemfie ba ye se omra mekire akamfo aware mu no eno ne kakra me kasa me fanka ho and again me tie wo interview bi a brakwesi aboaje ebe kacha o se onto wase wo commentary bi a wo ye ne ade and me tie interview nim no o kan bibi se because mumie no mo opportunity mo mic and crofo tie mo dodo na tie mo no asem bi a mo beka no it may have an impact. But some of the person in this question say no onim some more voice adena from the beginning of the case or taking some stance because someone him some more voice then I can also put it to him say he should have played neutral. But from the beginning or take position a trace sebe maame ni difo no so kra no own information and it's no person on to buombo danya on can we send on no di kind to sabo ne buy. And he doesn't have any moral grounds to come and tell you say ukuta mic intinu be very careful of what you say. Or no kuta mic kaneno. No, omunie kuta mic, but they took some position there. Ama ene de air corner urban. It's because of the likes of him in a man for bebre. Sorry by say you before meeting legal wise. Sanka beginning, no people took neutral stance. Menya sure Sanka there will be like that great faction and ne edahono. Until he should go and come back again. Medasi.
Okay. All right, that's it. I don't want to comment on that one, but
Very hard.
briefly with that one, I think that the basic thing of our conversation had to do with me saying that the reliefs of Mamia Kusuya Peno was centered on the fact that she was in a civil marriage, and he was trying to make me know that in the relief, there's no mention of civil marriage. But I'm sure ruling it by say exactly the same thing I said, the judge also reiterated it in the openings of her. In the openings of her statement, she also reiterated it that the reliefs were based on civil marriage. So that is done. You forget it.
PSA, please.
Yes.
Yeah, you can go ahead and ask your
All
question.
right.
We are not Lena Bim.
Good evening, Ola.
Good evening.
It's you for years on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
That's it.
Good work. Okay, maybe the end say the authentication of the documents no. Man, yeah, say ombo German, ombo Ghana Amazon in German. Ombo catch almost ombo ntimi authenticate document no because ombo will be mindful. Internet ombo need the right people to authenticate it. It's ombo Ghana Amazon mum. Ghana Amazon in German Amazon in Ghana no. Ombo na bit say ho no mo ye. And apart from that, no most say ma a desert ni kuno. I don't know why much na Ghana. Why into what's na German? So Peninsula. I don't know after the person ma German because more be more man say why much na Ghana. Into na it doesn't make sense. Into the nipa na what desert ni kuno. After the person ma German Germans, which means say to me it doesn't make any sense. And the third last one, no. By now still ube interview on Monday, no. Do ube katan him by so oba building him. It's a sample for money abrio. One bet me a hamu no. Into deba na mo bet me a mo put it no.
Epancho, process was a American letter via German embassy or Ghana deba. Ya no na mijina so the me inquiry so. And omode certificate attach. They did that, and that is the right thing that was supposed to be done. Let's all agree and understand, say, in the court, judge, was not too conversant with the procedure, and answer the way German for more documentation.
Ola Pacho, we mute you. We ne mute. O mic ne mute. Click your way ne so be who say mic be one. We me aso. Still yanti kasa.
That's part one mute you. Oh wow.
Click your picture, o video ne so a. Who say bibi pop here.
Mbese meka kakra ne say MCI eboa. Chese wo shega na fubu bibire. Ohwe no hu
I'm
yie.
pretty turbo train why Pacho.
Still and by.
Ola we.
But
We ain't buy
Be one honum. You know so well.
Debbie, it's his.
Yes, that's what.
His mic is currently off. It says it's currently not available. And now person will call now back. Okay. Okay, I'm going to pick him up now, maybe.
Chese, makulu nyira me ya. Au. Makusi ase wa.
Abba, right? Abba.
Yeah.
But please, can you give me like 5 minutes?
Okay, sure.
There's an important call. You're not distracted with the mic. You know, I want to
Okay.
finish with it now. I join you, me
All
Pacho.
right.
Why?
That's fine. That's
Okay,
fine.
boss. Okay.
Okay.
Just 5 minutes. I'll be back. Why?
No problem. That's fine.
All right. So
Thank you.
that's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Into your hair pretty. Ube to me aka. Train ahinkai kasa mfa.
I may say, on Labana Mudama, maybe I'm obese me. May say, this also be interview a lady bit Monday, or Beba studio, but I'm not covering him. But how are they going to protect her? Because Priscilla Crawford from when you are almost so be, but I'm betting me a hamono. So what I say.
Yeah. We be sa. Oba maybe sanama. Why?
Okay, that's
it.
Pacho, me so me question and person me bisa na me
Okay,
see for.
mommy. Okay.
Eh, is there no way you bet to me because I think say the state is being used to bully Mame Akosia Sewa for lawyer Fati to sit on air or because say judge ne catcher and say Mame ne pacho and sana should be allowed to perform the rights. No,
A whole lawyer.
I'm thinking say they are using the judiciary to bully the woman because Obia were right to seek for justice. Into no ba say monsha adie mamia na moshe via makache ne say ye be ye way your friend is saying yeah na won't perform you kuna no. I think say it's they are seeking to bully. Say if Lumba is going to have a state burial, if Lumba is going to have a state burial, why don't we petition the presidency? Because Mimi who say it was a penalty one or the Mahama na excuse or call court for petition your friend is saying when I injunction no or mention Mahama no tunfo. And because of that, yeah, omuka some be bibia quickly, no way to me no. And to no say petition presidency no about the state burial now. I think say maybe it can do something to stop the funeral because I don't agree to the fact say ma no more nye kunano because I think say maybe it's got a
Exactly.
No,
spiritual.
I
Andra.
second that.
I think Sandra Ola can be about it, Kakra. Or say judge na can. Omun to mean and stop it because from above. What you say? Judge na aka say ma in the kuna. Ti won to mean kasa wa me pouch wa man in the kuna. Andra Ola kan wa.
Yeah, but almost say Emmanuel and Ebenezer waka oh your friend is saying
Now say so much me I get in trouble for that. So mama ma in the kuna na because judge no na
but
aka.
if we don't petition, I wouldn't say na Ghana
Yeah,
there. I
Godfather
think
baby
we
Mami,
kasa.
start
mami
petitioning now.
mpacho, mami ma correction be. Ebenezer is not a party to the lawsuit. Ebusuapen. Enti sɛ saa asɛm no firi ebusuapen ano anaasɛ ebusuapen ne lawyers na make saa statement no na ɔmo aka mpo sɛ ɔmo tumi yɛ saa de no to restrict the woman there ɛno deɛ contempt. Sɛ wiase de obi tumi ka sɛ o maybe bɛku na menku ntumi nkyɛm sɛ maka sɛ mɛku no nti wobɛgye limit. No, you understand? Just
But
a
Godfather
mere
say
statement.
last
But when
na
it comes
okay.
ebusuapen no once a one Ebenezer na make saa statement. Oh, sorry, Pacho. No, Ebenezer na make his statement. No,
Nti
Ebenezer.
men ko bia why Ola Baba.
Okay. Yeah,
And
Pacho.
Chilizi, I think you should work from up because me chance your mom for requesting first. No, we are not getting them. What you
Oh, drop it. So I'll pick drop. You pick
and you work from the top. I will do the picking with
Ola,
the comment section.
senior man.
What
And I know said Nyamia na mandi or can send in area nipa na adwene besesa. They will understand the truth.
Joseph say young portrait
Amen.
okay.
The bad just say
I had a comment. Joseph say young portrait.
No
yeah,
munim
yeah.
no.
Omunimuno. So, covering her face and or not putting her on camera will make it difficult for those. I won't even mention her name.
Miss Ramo, sorry. Say Odo Bronii ne te asɛm wei na obehu
Although
nipa
name
ko.
ne pa.
But we need where to find her. We need baby our.
If that lady used to be in Kumasi,
Yeah.
but now as I speak to you, minim baby and I don't want to know. So the bear, yeah, the two could see me so I'm going to disclose, I don't want to know. It's, that is how. I mean, this is just by way of information. So the bear, yeah, bear prepared. Say Monday in the area. By the time I be bear 12, maybe a bomber pie. It's yeah, to us over high.
And a boss patch on my question back on Matia Hammy say, is it possible say Judge now or Tina Yasa me to Judge Dorinda na bet me as a city also bet me part of the appeal no the judges involved no can she be part?
You see, the problem is that Makoye exams, right? And yeah, Michael, and I'll say friends we examine no Michael no wa marking ye wa nhwemu ye no wa Michael down. Eti wo pese wo kore marking. So remarking yeah examiner na na be me na marking. Ye be pay ni papo from amena marking. But the says sanity.
Patch on.
So basically, that's how it is. Court, my little knowledge about court is that your circuit court magistrates near the any high court judges, near appeal court judges, any Supreme Court. It's level beyond judges. So it is highly difficult most of the time to have Obi on Udi Asɛm High Court to now be a judge at the appeals court. No, it's difficult. I've never maintained it. I just say be a very, very controversial thing that they want that person to be part. So they be on also side of how things were done, but it is highly, highly impossible, I must say.
Okay.
Yeah, it is very difficult. Why?
I have a question too. So what's the interview where Monday interview na nipa na beba so ana?
Maybe I try Monday and 10:30 to 12, 1.5 hours.
30 to 12 Ghana time.
Okay.
Okay.
1.5 hours. Yeah.
Okay. Chinbang, what's the Neat FM?
Maybe I try.
Okay. So yeah, you bet you actually live, right?
No, but it's on Facebook and YouTube and yeah, but maybe I'll try and let them know. So somebody TikTok, that means the person's face is gonna come.
It's gonna
yeah. So we only do Facebook and YouTube.
Which is Facebook Live, Neat FM. Okay.
At Ghana time near 10:30, 12 na yeah, sorry, so I'm just gonna give it like 1 hour on the ampon. So everybody will tell us what they want to say.
Good. More questions near to us one akoto.
Patch on my question.
Okay. Arine pankasa. So when you call, you must keep it and call Vivian. Vivian, I want fair.
Yeah, yeah, good evening. Michiamo Mate.
So hold on.
Mr. Ola, welcome too. Thank you again for coming. Yeah, my questions are me one back on say passports na nam ya maame so ema enkola ni bi ensa aka no. In this situation now, papa no enya alive to help out no. Maame ni ntimi nkɔ German immigration office hɔ no nkɔ ka sɛ papa na free mu ɔboa ne kunu eye ne kunu ma ontimi assist omu enti no omu cancel no Eno no ye my first question. Second question so ne say emu na omu di akoto ho no minim say obi free musa bema e free musa eya na
Me pamocho kakra seconds. Mr. Queen Emma send the phone freezy or ontimi or mute no. Enti munja two spaces say a goodie ne obi omuye mienu omo ba amomfa wo mo.
Okay, so first question on Ambusa. Second one here. Emuna omudi akoto honum no transitions or transition no. Omu say ye maame akosua brempoma akọ ho no. Busuapanyi the letter to say ma omma obi akwan to view the body no. Nti sisi anu so e de ba de pa no be ya fa ho. The my last one no so ye maame akosua sewa fosu. Yes, no. Dear me pesa no a contribution. Dear pesa me can say, all money muso. So na obia obetimi so abua e honum because financially ni na ye boa. But I think it's not much. Na onu susu ye hunu dear onu so betimi ama ne nkofo Germany ni so aye den abua. Medamo asepa. Yo.
Okay, so the first question with the Nkurani, then you see, I'm sure so you are all aware how governments, a particular bank, especially say if Nkurano are citizens of the country, they are very particular and they are very protective of Nkwadano, even more than a member. I know so most of you are aware of that. So it will be very difficult for Akwadai what passes through the process to be a German citizen. Now you see a German passport unless we are able to prove say Nkurano a crime of us be citizens, you know, it was maybe it was illegal. But in this instance, omo papa na aya momo. Omo papa DNA was collected and the aya momo. So that say you be taking that privilege from them again. No, I am not too sure it's gonna work. However, the need the arm goes through, and that's when we need the before say or done bonkum so no. Or no na ABR, it will come with a bit of complication. Now, depending on the stage I'm drew, you know, a hon ABR, a bit me actress, a bit me enya, and money may now onya. That is what I know. But I also remember say even in the court ruling there that there's a part where a man and Estina also admitted in court say not Ninia that Lumba friend is saying called in Kurane Brennan to pay baby and Kurane betra and all that. So that goes to assent on the room and then move be great to send it that Lumba be 2 coin or 2 coins and no free mono. I think that probably will maybe make that rumor true. Say indeed, if you know our planets or the Kurani 2 coin. And Ansana Asɛm si. So this is also by way of information from the court ruling.
Thank you. Ahwenipa nkasa. Ahwenipa nkasa. I'll drop it. Okay, one time.
Yes, madam.
Me pacho, what 3 minutes? So do baby sawa question why?
Thank you.
Okay.
Boss, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, from where?
Krista Adomo.
Me share said the name Manisiko ya me who said Juma Shisha and Omudia di lawyer no. Intino obi oya judge there. Enka we kura ya adansefo. Once maame ni kuta rare book ni there. Ade bia wo ba Efie German for bia no. Me sure say we too quite pain into him a lot and I say become poor study wa into him a lot. Ana almost share adwuma no mu de di lawyer no. Sa na me hu no.
It's possible.
Yeah. Into like nyada for and come present o mo niam nyina gu on mo a na wo de a kire say we say in the case no ma me na right say one na e widow na nke no ano no nti de oye nyina ye adwuma hyehyɛ ɛna mu so de adi lawyer no
Metewase.
nti lawyer no de na obeye bia no so fa lawyer tan kurampo no a nka de oye asɛm no saa na nkombeye no ade a wo kan e ba kwa anya me dan bia minim se motive na wo de kan yo sese yo o kan asɛm so kyerɛ sɛ lawyer ni pie ye no ye bisa na asɛm o se oda na yira se sese ni sinsinsi o se mo no ya munita mo de tie niema nti em so wonim de course
Okay.
ya ye bo no se ho ahon bi no senso MPP ni no ba ko de lawyer no wife and number Emma amanfo bebre ena no mo frɛ lawyer no wife edidi na terminal lawyer no nti de ma lawyer no gina so da na yira so hun se ka na yere kura bebu na ba mu se bi ajai adwuma no a wo yere jai kiredi but o ga na yere su pushie no ma ninya ahode de ya adwuma no but na wo nim ba bia lawyer ni free ba nti e ma wo ka bi se lawyer kusi aboade kura mpo aka case wo nkukum no
Kusi aboade be
o ka se
Kusi apia ne Dennis. Okay, so
yeah.
So
Mami
I followed the case, you know, with Yaya Boa and all those things I followed. So I knew what was going on there. But I see your assembly and baby a cannon.
Yeah.
And the Paso cannon.